A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So in this video I'm going to tell you why Allah will reject you. It's Surah Yunus verse number 100. Allah says, "No soul can believe except by the will of Allah, and He will place abomination on those who do not use their understanding and conduct." So here Allah says that no one can believe, no one can be a believer except by the will of Allah. So now the question arises whether we have some freedom in this life or whatever we do it is because of Allah. Here Allah gives the answer to this question also. He says He will place uncleanness on those who do not use their understanding. So Allah says He will reject those who don't use their intellect. If you don't use your intellect, you will never become a believer. So here Allah wants to say that He will give permission to those who use their intellect and they will become believers. So it's a common rule, it's a common law that Allah has given that if you do these things, you will become a believer. And if you don't do these things, then you will never become a believer. It's because it's a rule. If you eat unhealthy food, you will become sick. And if you eat healthy food, you will not become sick. So this is what Allah says here. This is the meaning of the will of Allah. It says Allah has given you intellect, then use it. If you don't use it, then how can you become a believer? If someone says this religion is bad, you will believe this. If someone says this religion is not bad, then you will follow that religion. This is not called understanding, using your intellect. When you read yourself, when you do research, you know that these are the verses of Allah. Now you read what Allah says. What is the meaning of these verses? When you use your intellect to understand the religion, it means your iman is increasing day by day, and now you are becoming a true believer because you have used your intellect. Now Allah has given you permission to become a believer. So Allah says who don't use their intellect, how can they become a believer? He says in kind of anger here that He will reject them. He'll not pay attention to these people who don't use their power of reasoning. We see people converting from one religion to another, converting to Islam because they have used their intellect. So Allah gave His permission and now they are believers. If they hadn't used their intellect, they would never become a believer. These people are people of reasoning, and that's why Allah made them believers. You are just born Muslims, you never use your intellect, you just read the verses only in Arabic, never understand the meaning of the verses, never pay attention to what Allah says, and you think you are just earning rewards just by reading the text in Arabic. And this is how you never pay attention to what Allah says. You are just like other people who have just born in different religions. You are just like them. But the people who actually use their intellect, these people convert to Islam, these people follow Islam. Even when they are born as Muslims, these people read, these people understand what their religion is. And Allah says they are the believers because of the will of Allah, and Allah will never reject such people.